right, good afternoon. Hello, everybody. So we are prepping for the Children's Miracle Network softball tournament this weekend, and I've invited some wonderful miracle moms from Children's Village to come in and talk to you guys and to talk to me about the tournament and what it means to have the tournament, but about Children's Village because that's what we're doing this for. Fun fact, the moms are actually playing in the tournament, and they have a team of 21 people. Not just, the fielding team. They have a whole nother team in the team, within the team. It's pretty great. So go ahead and introduce yourself, ladies.
I'm Erin.
And Erin is mom too.
And I've got my little guy Reese here with me.
I'm Danielle, and then this is mine. This is Alex.
And I'm Alma, and my village kiddo is Nicholas. We call him Nico for short. And he's not here right now.
He's not, but that's okay. So let's talk about these real quick because I need one of these. Gunnar and I need these in the studios for when we can't be there. So you guys have these made for what?
So they made these. They had these made for the Passion for the Village auction this last year. So these were on the tables with the auction items, so that people could kind of get a visual of some of the kiddos that they were bidding on. Bidding on items to raise money for.
I think that's great because one of the things about Children's Village is that it's just that. It's about the children. And I think that when it comes to donating money, especially now minimum wage is going up, which means cost of living is going up, it's hard for people to want to give. And when you see faces, next to the reasons why you're giving, I think that it makes it so much easier. Now, I ran into Erin and Reese at Ron's Ice Cream a couple weeks ago, and it was the first time that I got to meet him, and he is such a joy.
Yeah.
He's so handsome. I could squeeze him.
Yeah.
They said they'd be straight in the
Always
finger now.
smiling.
Really
He'd accept it. He would accept it.
He's like,
He'd be like, okay, we're friends now.
yeah, he would.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun. He's a comedian and always 99% of the time smiling.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a comedian and he always wants to make people laugh.
I love that.
So yeah, and one of his favorite things is ice cream. So being an ice cream is very focused on the moment when we were ready.
Right.
That was a lot of fun.
That's so awesome. So we are having our softball tournament this weekend. It is at Carlton Park in Selah. Now we are starting at 9:30. So if you want to come down, you don't even have to be in a team. You can just come down and support these moms. So, since we talked a little bit about Reese, let's talk about Nico. And what is it that Nico was diagnosed with?
So, Nico is diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, disruptive behavior disorder, and most recently speech apraxia, which is an interesting combo. He's very energetic. He's also very charismatic. So he just has a little bit of a hard time with what people would call typical social cues and language is a big one. He struggles with being able to self-calm down or to regulate his being upset to calming down. But through the village, actually, he's learned a lot. He's come a long ways. One of the biggest compliments we had was at his last neuro follow-up. The neurodevelopment doctor said, it was almost like an entirely different child.
That's amazing.
And it was, and as you're working through all these therapies, which we've been through so many, we've done ABA, speech, Holland groups, we've been, a whole year has gone by, and as you're going through it, you're just kind of moving with the emotions, but then you go to these appointments and you kind of like a step back and you're like, oh, this is what we've been working for, and it's just, it's a really, it's a great way of celebrating your child and somebody else is celebrating with you, and I mean, this is someone that sees them every 6 months, so for them to notice that drastic change is very amazing. But the village, they're really all like that. They remember little details, and that's why I met these wonderful people here. I mean, it really just becomes this close-knit community. And a lot of the time we just have to say certain things to each other, I don't have to explain this mess, and we just kind of get it,
Right.
you know. So it definitely brings you into a sense of community and acceptance, and makes things like this, you know, like the fundraising for Children's Village, so passionate for us, because we've seen that through the resources, it has just made us almost complete, you know, the little piece that we were missing as parents, as our kids, you know, it makes us complete again. And without these resources, I really don't know where we would have been with Nico at this point. You know, he's up to, right now he's doing 6 sign language words, and he has about 4 or 5 word approximation, which means he has the beginning of certain word sounds, and that's all through the wonderful resources and parents cheering us on. So this is really what we're asking to help keep funding, you know. And it's, of course, it's so very dear to every one of us, but the community as a whole, they service all the valley. We're the closest, I think there's another resource, but not until like Wenatchee area, and then they have to go over up to Seattle. But they service all these people around us, so it's definitely something that you know, when we're looking into, you know, budgeting, you know, where we want to contribute in the community, it's one of the awesome
brainer.
Yeah.
So many of our kids that need services that you just it's a given.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally understand. So if you guys did not hear what she said, if we didn't have Children's Village here in town, families would have to go elsewhere, over passes, whether it be Blewett into Wenatchee or over
Snoqualmie.
Snoqualmie. I was saying Chinook. I've been over Chinook so many times lately. Snoqualmie into Seattle. This is where they get their care, and it's because of donations and things like the softball tournament, Passion for the Village, where they get money to continue doing these, because, you know, a lot of kids are on Medicare, Medicaid, and they don't get, the village doesn't get paid very much off of Medicare and Medicaid. If it's like a service is $1, they only get paid like 29 cents or something like that for every dollar.
Subsidized.
Yeah, so the amount of money that we raise for any event for children's is extremely vital to these families. But Erin, you were living in Seattle for a long time, and then you moved back here.
Yep.
Now you have to jog my memory because I don't remember, but did you still have to travel to Seattle at the beginning of Reese's diagnosis, or was it here? Did you start at the village right away?
We were like, okay, let's feel this place out, because, you know, starting somewhere new is kind of like, you know, intimidating. And
right.
I didn't know anybody, so I was like, okay. So we kind of tiptoed and started some therapies here, but we still went over to Seattle to like our people, you know, that we've worked with for all of these
where
years.
you were comfortable.
Yeah, where we were comfortable. And then we started, you know, building these relationships here with the therapists and all of these people. So we still go to Children's, Seattle Children's over in Seattle every 6 months or so for evaluations with his rehab medicine doctor for Botox therapy. So he has Botox in his left leg. 6 months to 12 months, they monitor that. Other than that, it's super cool. We pretty much have everything here now. We get all of his equipment serviced here now, which is so cool. And his neurologist even comes every, I think, 3 months to the village and sees neuro patients here.
That's awesome.
So we like hit the jackpot, because we're like, we don't even have to travel for neuro anymore. This is incredible. So it's just such a blessing.
You know, and it really is. And I've been to Children's. My son has had an appointment at Children's. Luckily, he does not have to continue to go. He's just lazy. So go figure, my kid. But it was one of those moments where you step back and you go, wow. Yeah. You know, you don't know what situation or where you're going to be at, because things can come out of nowhere. You know, they can develop at a different age than other kids. And, you know, having that ability to just go down the road to Children's Village is amazing. And they're so friendly when you walk in.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't believe it. And I can't remember the lady who we saw for speech therapy, but the moment we walked through the door, she was like my best friend.
Yeah.
Like, and then right down to the speech therapist. I didn't even want to leave. It was the fastest hour of my life.
It really, the therapy sessions go really quick, and you become like friends with these people and close with these people, and they understand you. And when you're sharing stuff about your children, like that's really that's special stuff.
Yeah.
And you feel like you can talk to them and you can ask them questions and advice and like
They get it.
it doesn't matter. Yeah, they're always there for you.
And I do. That's exactly how I felt. And I also felt like, there was no judgment. You know, if you have a question, even a normal parenting question, is this normal? Is my kid's toe bigger than the other? They're not going to judge you, which I absolutely love. So let's talk about your son.
Yes.
Now that you've wrangled everything.
I've wrangled all my kids up.
You just got to see like wrangling 101 here with them.
That's another thing that we have to point out is the family atmosphere, because you ladies are not related by blood.
No.
Like, you have now become related through Children's Village.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you guys can't see, I mean, there was like 5 kids here, and you never know, because they're all pitching in to help each other, and I think that's so amazing.
You just make it work.
You do.
We do.
So your son, what was his original diagnosis?
His original diagnosis was congenital hydrocephalus,
Which is what?
Water on the brain. It's basically where your spinal fluid doesn't drain properly.
Okay.
And he developed a cyst in his brain that blocked the passage for the fluid to drain.
Okay.
Which then the fluid built up, and we think is what caused him to have the cerebral palsy
Okay.
diagnosis. The pressure was bad enough, which caused the brain damage, which led to, we think, where we are right now.
Okay.
But that was his first diagnosis, was the hydrocephalus. He went and had emergency brain surgery at 6 months old to place a shunt to save his life, pretty much.
Right.
And then after that, we just followed along with therapies and stuff to try to get his strength back up, because his head was so big. He couldn't lift his head up when he was little. He couldn't roll over. He couldn't sit. He couldn't do anything. And so we first were like, oh, just hydrocephalus, just, he had just an enlarged big head and couldn't balance. And then when he was about 1.5, he was diagnosed with the cerebral palsy.
Okay.
Because by that point, he should have been walking, he should have been moving and more mobile, and he was still just sitting on the ground, not really doing anything.
Right.
So it's been, oh my gosh, many years. He's 11. He'll be 11 this year. And so we've been at the village since he was 1 year old.
Wow, so you've been able, your entire experience
Oh, yes.
with illness has been in the village.
Yes, yeah.
That's awesome.
And
I mean, it's not what it is to
And
be
that's
able
the
to not
weird
have to
thing,
leave.
too. Yeah.
Right.
And so the therapist that he has, we've been blessed to have her for the past 6 years now, ever since he got out of the birth to 3 program. He's had this amazing PT who we have her direct line. We call her if we have questions. She answers them. She's just amazing. And so we have
a family.
Yeah, we've made awesome families. And I was the person that was, I don't need these moms. I've got this. I was young. I was 18 when I had Alex. And, my friends at that age, they were all doing their own things. And here's me. I'm just like, I have a whole different aspect of life to look forward to that nobody else is going to understand. And I just dealt with it. And then I just joined the village family literally maybe 3 years ago. And really strongly began advocating and getting involved and doing everything. And ever since then, I'm like, I found my moms. I found the parents that understand me, who get me, who don't look at me like I'm crazy.
Now you're stuck with me.
We're stuck, and I wouldn't have it any other way. We have just, oh my gosh, that's a family.
That is awesome.
That is a family.
So they do. So if you guys don't know, Children's Village has a group called the Holland Group.
Yes.
And the Holland Group is based off of a poem, right? It's a poem that was done by a parent. Basically, what it is it's, you plan a trip to Italy and you end up in Holland, which I don't know if y'all have ever been to Holland or Googled Holland, but it's not exactly the prettiest place in the world. However, there are beautiful things about Holland that you wouldn't see anywhere else. And so the point of this group is for parents to be able to come in, meet each other, and have that support group that they wouldn't have anywhere else. Are you guys all involved in Holland?
Yes.
So we all went through Holland, like the actual Holland class. Was it 10 weeks, 12 weeks?
12 weeks.
And then you graduate from the program itself. And then once you graduate and you go through all of the classes, then you are like officially part of, we have a Facebook group.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So it's kind of like a big community of parents who have all gone through this class together or at another point in time. Like we went through the class together.
Okay.
So, and then you went through it 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we all have gone through it at different points. But then you all, it's kind of like, okay, you're all in the group now.
So, part of the cool kids club.
Yeah, so we're all part of Holland.
That's awesome.
And the thing is, like, part of the Holland atmosphere, or the mentality of it is like, you have this certain path for yourself, or certain idea of what it is to become a parent, and you're completely almost, you go off the
middle.
Yeah, it's like you're going here and you're going over
You're over here somewhere.
Yeah.
Trying to find the new map. You're not sure where you are.
Absolutely. And the beauty of it is just like you learn to embrace that path,
Right.
you learn to embrace that derailment, and this is what comes from it.
Embrace the life that was given to you.
Yes.
Right.
You know, enjoy it regardless of it being what you expected.
Because it
and
is
you did.
beautiful.
Absolutely.
It is beautiful, and like Alex is hanging around outside,
Yeah.
you know, and he's doing wonderful.
Yeah.
He's, you know, it always impresses me as to how much stronger kids are to some adults.
You're telling me,
Right?
he's gone through brain surgeries and not even 24 hours later, acting like nothing. And I'm like, I'd be in bed dying, like, pamper me, give me something.
Right.
Because, like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's these kids, you guys, it's,
The resilience that they
Oh my
have.
gosh.
that is the word.
And their
to use.
happiness, like, takes over. Like, doesn't matter what they've gone through, they're happy.
Always happy.
Yeah.
Always happy.
And that says something like,
With the thumbs up.
That's so awesome. I just, you know what, it makes me feel, you know, when I have my bad days, you know, it doesn't even compare. Any of these kids have gone through so much and continue and will always continue to go through things. And their enthusiasm pale, like it just, in comparison to me, they blow me out of the water every single day. Which is saying a lot, because I'm like this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, most of the time. So, like I said, we have our Children's Miracle Network softball tournament happening at Carlton Park this weekend. It's Saturday. We're starting at 9:30. We're going to run until about, our last game should start at about 4.
Okay.
So it's not going to be until 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, but it is for a great cause. It is to continue to give these families, the opportunity to stay here in town when their children really need the facility and, you know, the doctors here. And it helps costs not be what they could be.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So come watch us. We are the village people.
Which I think is so amazing. I saw that and I about died because it's fantastic. We have a group of labor and delivery nurses who are coming to play. They're called the Womb Mates.
So cute.
They are the Womb Mates. We've got a team from Central Premix, a team from Ace. We have a Disney themed team who is dressing up as characters. So it's going to be a good time. Bring the kids out. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I will be out there. You'll find me. I'll be the one holding the clipboard. So come out and say hi. But again, to these parents, you know, let's show them the support because unfortunately, if myself or any of you were in the same situation, you would want the same support from moms who either are going through what you've gone through or, you know, just need to be there for you. So let's go out and support Children's Miracle Network this weekend.
Yes, please. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you guys there.